What we have for you here is a video on a project called Gritter. This is one I give students almost every year. Basically, it makes use of a two-dimensional array, and the two-dimensional array is storing the number 0 or the number 1. If it stores the number 1, I draw this grid with a white square. When the value is 0, it ends up being a black square. So you can see here, if I switch the color white and just click, I just turned the value inside the array of arrays to a 1 at that location. You can click and drag if you want. We can clear out, bye-bye. You can even save and open. This project we actually use for a few more things later in the course. Now what we want you to use it for is to do a couple of grid tasks, but what you'll actually get to see is you'll actually get to see the results of your grid tasks visually rather than just with numbers and system out. So, just to walk you through how this program works, let's peek at the source code. Now there's going to be a lot here you don't have to worry about. Remember, we're just focusing on the basics. So first thing, grid count tells you how many rows and how many columns, and it's set to 100, and you can leave it at 100. My actual two-dimensional array is called grid, and you can see it's made 100 by 100. Pretty well the rest of the stuff you don't even have to worry about. Okay, so all that code, you don't even worry. We will maybe walk you through just this. Here's clear the grid. So when you hit the clear button, all I'm doing is I'm cycling through the grid and putting all the values to 0. Now it is important after you change any values in the grid, if you actually want to see the result, you have to call the draw method. The draw method will go through and actually go through square by square. If it's a 0, it draws black. If it's a 1, it draws white. Okay, but that's already coded for you. So what do you have to do? You have to do stuff like this. You're going to code button 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, do a few problems. And when you code the buttons, you just double click the button and you can see here, okay, that code, let's just take it out. You didn't need that in there. But you'll code your code in there. Okay, and then after you code your code, you can go draw. And whatever your code has changed in the matrix, you should visually see the result inside the grid. Just to show you one example of how this works, I've coded a little code inside of this button here, the step button. The step button calls the method step, and step is right down here. So you'll see here, this is just a little sample code. You can take this out later if you want, but all I do is I pick a random column number, I pick a random row, and I turn it to 1. That's it, and then of course, draw, so we see the change. So when I give this a run and I hit step, it just keeps picking random spots, turning the value to 1, and drawing. So you've got your drawing going there. Now your tasks are going to be not too hard. We're going to get you to draw some lines. We're going to get you to draw some X's, try to flip the image, and a couple tricky ones, right, if you want. But we just want you to explore this with a few routines, right, to practice your grid work, okay, in a little bit of a visual sense. So that's how Gritter works. And now you can go look at the assignment sheet, and you can take a peek at which grid problems you want to choose to try to do.